Okay, well, hi everybody. Welcome to Bold Carnivore. Today we're sitting down with Dr. Jacob Hands. It is lovely to meet you. How are you, Doctor?
I'm doing great. Great to be here.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sitting down with me and having this lovely chat. So we met
Absolutely.
over Instagram. Yeah. And uh, just wanted to get to meet you. You said you were a carnivore, and I have some lovely questions.
Okay, I'm
Oh,
ready when you are. I'd love to share my story and my journey into carnivore.
awesome. Okay, well, so about how long have you been carnivore?
2.5 years. I started in June of 2023.
Mm-hmm. June 2023. What was the catalyst? Why did you go to carnivore exactly?
It's like just at the beginning of that year, I started noticing I was having some real severe issues with anxiety. I mean, pretty debilitating, and that wasn't normal for me. Uh, I would get stressed, but it got to the point that it was very difficult to function. I mean, just severe anxiety. I was always thought that somebody was after me. I wouldn't answer my phones. I mean, I had a very busy chiropractic practice, and I mean, I had to deal with people. And I mean, this is just not me, not answering phones and things like that. And I looked in the mirror one day and I said, this is not normal. This is just not me. Something's not right. Uh, so I remember I had done some research some years before about the ketogenic diet and how getting your body to use ketones as a source of energy really helped with brain issues. And at that time, I read that people that had epileptic seizures were being healed with a ketogenic diet. Also, people with autistic problems or ADHD. So I knew that I didn't want to go the medication route because that's just not my philosophy. So after I did some research, I said, you know what, I want to try this. There's got to be a way to get rid of this anxiety the natural way without any of the meds.
And there's specific medication that somebody suggested you should try, and you were like, "Woo, no," or just like in
No,
general.
I've heard of I've been a chiropractor for so many years. I had a lot of patients who were on meds, anti-anxiety meds, depression meds for a long time, and you know, I was able with chiropractic. It really helped to some of them got off it, some of them didn't, but a lot of them did. And with diet, that also helped. But I know that a lot of these meds, Xanax and some other ones, if you start taking some of these meds, they actually start to change the chemistry in your brain, and that could be permanent and they're very addictive. And I just didn't like the side effects. I've just never been and I've tried doing everything natural. My whole practice has been a holistic, do these things naturally, you know, like Hippocrates said, let food be your medicine, the medicine, your food. And I followed that. And the crazy thing was that I was eating pretty well. Okay. I was not eating any junk. I was not eating anything out of boxes, but and mostly everything natural. But I was eating a lot of rice, potatoes, quinoa, uh, fruits, vegetables, nuts. So a lot of carbs. I was eating a lot of carbs. So
Mm.
I had to really stop and say, okay, this is what I learned that should be healthy for you. If this is so healthy, how come I'm feeling this way? It just makes no sense. I think I had to be really humble and to stop and say, I don't know everything. I've done all this training, but how come I'm still in this condition? So that's what got me to start it. And initially, I started doing more of a keto. I started doing more of a keto diet. I never really ate red meat. I did eat fish and chicken and eggs, and I was okay with
Mhm.
that, but never ate meat, red meat. So I started very little, just eating just ground beef and adding it. Just that's the only thing I started, and little by little, and I liked it. It's like, wow, wow, how come I didn't need it? It's probably because for so many years I had learned that, oh, red meat is bad for you and all of that, which is not true at all.
Mhm.
Uh, and that's why I just said, okay, I'm going to do this. If I do this for 3 months, nothing can hurt me. If I do something for 3 months, especially with diet, it can't hurt at all. So that's kind of was my philosophy, how I was going to start it. It can't hurt, do it for 3 months. And I had to relearn what I was doing, especially getting off the carbs. So that kind of eased into it. And that's how I got into it.
Hmm. Roll back again. You said you've had all of this training. What do you mean by all of this training? Specifically, what training?
Well, I my first career before I was a chiropractor, I was a nutritionist. I got my degree in nutrition and chemistry from Long Beach State University in California. And at that point, I was working at a health food store. I learned a lot about, I was managing, I learned about the supplements and how to work with those. I also worked with one of the largest weight loss companies in the US called Nutrisystem. So I was doing a lot of weight loss stuff and clinical nutrition. So a lot of it was you got to eat like, 60 to 70% of your calories should come from carbs. Okay.
Mm.
Because eating fat from animal fat would cause heart attacks, raise your cholesterol. And eating eggs were bad. I mean, that was back in the late 1980s. It was, that was the thought, at that time. So yeah, I had a pretty high carb diet and very low. And my protein was good, but it was a high carb diet.
Hmm. So when you say your protein was pretty good, were you talking about plant-based proteins then, or did
No,
you
yeah, I was
supplement?
a combination of things. Although I wasn't eating red meat, I was eating eggs. I was eating eggs. I was eating fish. I was eating chicken. I was eating a lot of chicken.
Hmm.
Because I was consulting some bodybuilders back then, and they ate a lot of chicken, broccoli, that kind of thing. Uh, so I was seeing the results that they were getting.
Hmm.
So I never ate red meat just because of the stigma, associated with
Hmm.
it.
Hmm. So you know that bodybuilders, though, when they say chicken and broccoli, that's actually a code word for different kinds of injectables.
No, yeah, exactly. A lot of things have changed now. I mean, it really has changed. Even though back then they were still, they were juicing, but probably not as bad as nowadays. But you know,
No. And now the synthetics that you can pump into yourself to build muscle is just wild what that stuff can do.
it is really
Yeah.
wild. Yeah.
Mm.
So
Yep.
go ahead.
I'm sorry. You were going to say something, but yeah.
No, it's, you know what? I want to tell you something. I think I have a pretty good perspective, especially coming from my background and having learned specific things about nutrition. Um, I think, I look at the carnivores. I'll just tell you a little bit about what happened with me so people understand how amazing this really is. Um, Now, some people can jump right into do carnivore right away, and some can't. We all have a different system. We can't just all do it cold turkey and just go in and just stop what we're doing, just do full on carnivore. We all have a
Mhm.
different physiology. We all have a different digestive system. We all have a different uh, tolerance for stress in life. We've all come from different backgrounds. Some people ate really badly, some better. Some people with came from are taking a lot of meds, for different conditions, and some none. So I found that everybody doing the carnivore, they just have to be patient and understand that their situation is absolutely unique to them. It's good to have examples of the thousands of testimonials that we see on the carnivore space, which is amazing. Okay. This really helped me. But also, we need to understand that your particular journey is your own. And for you, there's some people, after a couple of weeks, they lose a tremendous amount of weight. They start to see changes right away. And some people that take a little longer, so, and I also see people that are complaining, well, I've been on the carnivore diet for 3 weeks. I've only lost this amount of weight. And I say, well, that for you, that's probably just perfect, and continue to do it. Don't give up, because that's your journey. You never know what other people's journeys have been, or health situation is. As far as my situation is, it took me about 3 months to go from like a ketogenic diet to be like pretty much into the full carnivore. So I, little by little, I got off the carbs because I didn't realize how addicted I was to the carbs. It's just unbelievable. And so it took me 3 months. And I want to tell you some of the things that started happening to me. Within 3 months, the anxiety that I was having, that debilitating anxiety, I have to say about 95% of it completely changed. I mean, I was so amazed that this was happening. It was really happening. But one of the other things, like my gums that would bleed all the time whenever I brush my teeth, and that stopped. I mean, I was not expecting any of this. These are just little things that started happening. But I think besides that anxiety that had gone away, and I was just amazed that that happened, I think one of the greatest results and benefits was I stopped being a slave to food. And by what I mean by that is that I always used to need to eat like every 2 or 3 hours. And I had a busy chiropractic practice between patients. Sometimes I'd schedule patients in between my meals, okay, so that I could eat. And I was so dependent on those carbs that I didn't realize that my blood sugar levels were not stable at all. And I was going through a lot of the insulin spiking that you hear about. So that's one of the reasons that I always had low blood sugar. If I didn't eat at the right times, I'd get really moody, and that wasn't really good. So as I started switching to carnivore, my body switched from burning glucose and sugar and started using ketones for fuel. It's like all of a sudden I woke up in the morning not hungry. And then I could work out. I could do my workout in the morning without having to eat anything. And then I found out, instead of being so hungry right away, I could probably have my first meal at 1 in the afternoon or 2, and not a problem at all. Not freaking out about food, because I had to have energy. I was up working sometimes 8 hours a day, so I had to make sure I had the energy. So all of a sudden, when I go out with my family to hikes and things like that, I don't have to be packing all these sandwiches and nuts and snacks and everything. Okay, let's go. I have some water. No big deal. And they're just going to look at me. Okay, wow, what a change. But I don't think people are realized how much of a slave we are to food. All the time needing to eat something. And now I feel I have absolute control of my food. It's so freeing to be able to experience this after so many years. So besides the anxiety, I have to say, really just feeling that I can go on my day and I can focus on other things rather than, oh, I got to eat now. I'm hungry. My blood sugar is dropping. And with all of this, I put on like 12 pounds of muscle. I had some belly fat that I lost. Just my skin got better. Sleeping got better. It's just, I didn't go in, I didn't do this like a lot of people go into it for weight loss. And I know this is really an amazing thing to do if you want to lose weight permanently. But I did it for a different reason, and there's other benefits. So, for me, this has been my journey. And do you have any questions? Anything so far is pretty clear? Yeah.
No, well, your story is very clear. I'm enjoying listening to it. I do have a question.
Yeah.
You said you started with keto to see how that would do you.
Yeah.
Right. And what level of change did that affect on your anxiety? Did it really clear it up? Did it help a little bit? I mean, Did you get the most freedom when you did something else?
I think it's hard to tell. It was a gradual transformation, really. I started adding some meat, okay, and slowly started to reduce my carb intakes, go less rice, less quinoa, less potatoes, and just started focusing more on animal products, more fish and meat and that. And I think I just woke up one day. Really, it was like it's gone. It's like, and
Mhm.
that's about 3 months into it, of a gradual transition. After 3 months, I was fully carnivore. Was not eating any carbs at all. It was mostly at that point, which I continue to today. It was mostly ground beef that I eat. That's my staple. uh, ground beef, eggs, butter, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, shrimp, fish, those kinds of things. The only thing that I still eat, and no, for about a year I didn't eat. I've just added some blueberries because here in Portugal the berries are great. So I just added a few little blueberries with some yogurt. But
Mhm.
generally, my diet at this point is again, um, there's different levels of carnivores. I mean,
Mhm.
some carnivores is just meat and that's it. Some will add some dairy and cheese, some yogurt,
Mhm.
like I am doing, and a few also like to add like avocado or some berries.
Mhm.
But I think I think overall it's such a great change. Even if you add a few of these things, as long as you're feeling better, as long
Yeah.
as you are seeing a change, uh, that's the most important thing. Is it helping you? Is what you're doing? Are you noticing it? And if you
Mhm.
are, just keep doing what you're doing. And I found that naturally, if you feel you gotta uh, just take away more of the carbs and just eat the meat, then that's listen to your intuition on that. But there's also going to be understand that when you're switching over from you're basically turning off the glucose in your body. You used to using like mostly glucose and sugar as a fuel. All of a sudden, you switch it to using fat and ketones, and going from here to here, it, you're going to go through some, maybe some uncomfortable changes.
Yeah.
Uh, and you see in the carnivore space, a lot of people have different kinds of oxalate dumping, where you have things in your skin, or people some diarrhea at the beginning, some joint pains as your body gets rid of some of these oxalates. And they end up in your stomach or in your body. uh, so everybody goes through their own healing journey. And if it's happening too quickly, slow down. That's what I would suggest. It's okay. Remember, this is your own personal journey, not anybody else's. So some people have a lot of diarrhea. Cut back on the butter. Okay, just eat less butter, less fat. And that's what I had to do. I wasn't used to my gallbladder and my liver, they weren't used to processing so much animal fat. So I had to do it gradually. And in the process, I was eating fermented foods like
Mm.
so to kind of to help me, like like the coleslaw, like the fermented coleslaw,
Mhm.
and other
Okay. Yeah.
fermented foods to help transition.
Sauerkraut.
That's it, sauerkraut, uh, to help me transition. Um, so really, it's a very individualized journey, and follow your intuition. And also, it's good to I suggest to get a good blood workup if you haven't done, just to check what your glucose is, what your triglycerides are, what your cholesterols are, what your blood work is. And in 3 months, your blood changes every 90 days. So you can actually uh, do a blood work every 30 days, every 90 days, to check and see what progress you're making. And you should be able to see some changes. Sometimes it's too early, but for me, I saw a change, after 3 months that was pretty good. So
Mhm. Have you tried reintroducing any foods to see if you can find your particular trigger to see like if the anxiety comes back or something?
Uh, I didn't want, once in a while, like my son and wife, they bring some chocolate covered almonds or whatever, and like I have
Mm,
a weak moments, I go, oh man, that I haven't had it like in 2 years, but then I have a couple of them, and you know, it's my body's strong enough that I don't go off or have a major reaction, but the next morning I feel a difference that something happened. So
mm,
you know what? If I do this like once in a while, I don't beat myself up for it at all. I can just
mm,
jump right back on it again, and I'm fine. Um, but I really, since that anxiety went away and that low blood sugar issues went away, I don't want to go back to the rice or potatoes or just to test it out. I was actually when I introduced blueberries to because that's a carb right there. I wasn't doing it. I know you got some carbs in the Greek yogurt, and that was not
a little.
triggering. Yeah, it's very little, very little. Okay, it depends what kind. Very little, and also blueberries are very, very low in the glycemic index. That means how much your body reacts to the to getting your insulin to respond. And the blueberries are very, very low. So I tried them and see, okay, if I not start feeling well again, then I just drop them because it's not worth feeling like I was feeling before. And I'm doing just fine. So those are the only carbs basically that I've included.
Mm, mhm. I want to roll back really far in the conversation now because you said that you started out in the nutrition space and all that training, but then you became a chiropractor. What was the transition there? Why did you become a chiropractor?
Because I was having some pains in my back and my kidneys, and with all the knowledge that I had, with all the nutrition, and I was always working out, doing yoga, and I was pretty aware of my body. Those pains weren't going away. So I had a friend of mine who was in chiropractic school at the time, and I asked him, "Hey, why? I'm having these pains and they're not going away. Could you check me out?" He said, "No problem." So actually, I went over to his place. He put me on the table and kind of checked me out and just very gently kind of turned my back one way or the other. And I heard a little pop. Within 10 minutes, those pains that I had for 3 months, gone. I mean, gone. And I said, wow, this is pretty amazing. And also as a nutritionist, I realized at that moment that my healthiest patients were the ones that responded better to nutrition therapy were the ones who were going to chiropractors, because the ones that I spoke to, they I said, well, where are you going? Yeah, I'm going to my chiropractor. I'm feeling so much better after. So I had heard about that chiropractors from my clients at that point, but it wasn't until that I experienced it that I had that experience and say, you know what, I'd like to help people at a greater level than I am now. So that's why I decided to go to chiropractic school, and that was in Los Angeles. That's where I trained.
Mm. And with chiropractic, did they also give you another course in nutrition, or was it
A lot of
not connected?
it's very heavy. Chiropractic is very, very heavy in nutrition. And chiropractic will really try to help the body to heal itself without any medications or drugs or surgeries and things like that. It's not that I'm against meds. If you have some kind of acute situation that's going to save your life, go take care of it. I'm absolutely for that. But in general, with some kind of chronic issue, I think a lot of people now in the carnivore space are seeing a lot of this can be turned around with nutrition. I mean, all of these testimonials that you see of type 2 being reversed completely, and all these other conditions, arthritis, psoriasis, just being completely reversed. And these are,
Cancer.
it's amazing what we could do with the natural things.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. It is very, very interesting how much that is really downstream from what we put into our mouths, because without even thinking, we put all kinds of stuff in our mouths. We look at a baby putting something in their mouth from the garden and you go, ugh! But you go and open a package of Little Debbie and you don't even think twice.
Absolutely. Hey, I was a junk food junkie as a kid. I mean, I love Twinkies and I love the sweets and I love, my Halloween, when I went to Halloween, that Halloween bag was gone in a day. So I didn't know anything about this stuff until later. And but now I know better. It's okay to you can have some good stuff, but if 80% of the time you're eating well and you're putting good food in your body, it really changes. It really keeps you healthy for the long term.
Wow, that's awesome. And so, does your family follow you in your carnivore journey, or not so much?
My son does. He's not a carnivore. He's eating a lot. He's 16 years old and working out and building. He eats meat. He pretty much eats everything. He's not really carnivore. My wife was vegan for many years and then vegetarian for also. She's been eating. She likes to eat fish and shrimp. She eats eggs, but she was not really. The reality is I'm doing it for me, and they understand that this is important, and they've seen the positive changes. So uh, they support me. That sometimes the challenge is going out when we all go out as a family just to find stuff that I can usually use. I can usually find something to eat. If there's a burger, I
Mm,
take the buns out. I just eat the burger, or I just eat like the steak by itself. No, nothing, no side things like potatoes and things like that. And you know
mm,
what? And I'm fine with it. It is so worth it to me the way that I've been feeling. I'm just okay with it. It's
right.
okay.
Now, so what does an average workout look like for you? Because I saw on your website that you're really into the fitness space right now, and then that's the way that you're trying to help people is that people over 50 specifically, or at 50, men who are trying to rebuild their bodies. Go into a little bit about that.
Sure. So my full-time work now is online. I have a health and fitness online coaching, men over 50 who really want to stay lean or get lean, build more muscle, have more energy, and really feel great after 50. A lot of people think that after 50 or later, okay, everything's going to go downhill. Well, that's really a choice that you make. And what happened, the reason I'm doing this now is back in the COVID days when we're all stuck at home, I couldn't go to my gym and work out anymore. And I used to go to the gym lifting weights 3 to 5 times a week. So I got stuck at home and I wasn't happy about that because that's how I stayed in shape and kind of kept my sanity going to work out. So now what I do, I switched to training with resistant bands training. It's the ones with the handles at the end, the professional quality type. Like not like some old ladies are using, doing the chair stuff. You want the good bands. And I started training with those. I was very skeptical at first, but I started having some amazing results right from the start. I started putting muscle, the belly, the fat belly that I couldn't get rid of for 5 years just went away after 4 months. My energy just skyrocketed. And after the workouts, I had energy. When I was working out at the gym with weights, I kind of feel tired. I felt I did something good for myself, but I felt tired afterwards. So when I switched to trainings with resistant bands, it was just energy throughout the whole day. And 6 months after, I took I do blood tests every year, but I did my blood test to see what was going on, and my testosterone levels just shot up to the highest they've ever been. Specifically after I started working out with the resistant bands, and I created a specific sequence of workouts to help you do that. I didn't know it at the time. Really, I was feeling good, but then I saw those lab results of my testosterone that it had shot up the highest it's ever been, even higher than 50. Right now, I'm 62. So my levels had gone way up, and every year since, my testosterone levels have have maintained that height. They've not come down. And for guys our age, 50 and over, it's really crucial to make sure that testosterone stays up, because that helps to get rid of that belly fat. It also affects your emotions, mentally and
Mhm.
emotionally. That testosterone gives us our confidence as guys, helps with sleep, to rebuild, keeps your bones uh, really dense and strong, like it should be. So if you want strong bones, you got to make sure testosterone is high. It just basically testosterone, it just helps us feel better as guys. So I found this specific sequence of workouts that increased it consistently, and of course I add all my nutrition to that, uh, to make it work. Now, as far as the nutrition, I don't start with everybody on carnivore. I don't, because some people are just not ready to go that route yet. Okay, I talk to people about it, and if they are open to it, then even better, even better for them, because the results are going to be a lot faster. But I also understand that people come from, not eating so well, very high in carbs, and maybe not, and some people on medications and things. So you got to kind of transition with the diet. But I made it in a way that's not extreme, and it's really easy to follow. So you do it in steps. I don't think anything doing an extreme is going to last very long, because with some people that will shock your system so much that you just want to quit, because the changes are too fast, even though that could be very positive. But people need to function. They got to go to work. They got to do things. So you got to do things in smoothly, and sometimes it takes time to do that. So that's how I set up this coaching program, to help guys over 50 do that without having to stress out over all the food. What I'm going to eat, is this right, is not right, how I'm going to work out. And since I developed this one at home, this can be done right from home. You don't have to waste time going to the gym, or wait for, or drive, or I don't know how far your gym could be, or wait around. That could be your big hassle. So I just made it as simple as possible.
Nice. That sounds fabulous. And I will post a link to your website in the description box later on.
Oh, great. Awesome.
Yeah. So, quick question. Have you tried raw carnivore?
Raw carnivore? No. I do like when I eat mostly the ground beef. I do kind of like a medium rare. Okay, I don't like totally cooked, but the only thing I eat raw is sushi. In fact, yesterday we went out, and I just eating just all the raw sushi, and I'm fine with that. But no, no, I've not tried any of the raw stuff. I liver. I've eaten just the cooked liver, which is fine. I do like to take the liver capsules, which are really helpful, especially if you want
Mhm.
more energy, and it's like a nice boost of vitamins. But no, I'm just not into the raw thing.
You see all these raw vegans out there, like, I just got to eat it all raw. But then the other side of that, we have some raw carnivores, chewing on raw steak and stuff. But I don't have
Yeah,
anything against it.
maybe
But
that guy who's the liver king. Maybe he's the only one who does it. He's
look,
crazy.
raw testicles. I don't know whose idea that was. Maybe he was just trying to see how gullible his audience was. I just don't know.
Oh no
But that
way.
dude was juiced to the freaking gills.
Oh man. Oh, I got to tell you, when I was younger, I was living in Mexico City, and my cousin took me to this restaurant. And oh yeah, try all this food and everything, and they served everything in the animal, but she didn't tell us. And what's that? Oh, it tastes really good. Oh yeah, this is really good. Kind of tastes like chicken, but more intense. She goes, yeah, those are bull's testicles. And I'm going, what? I'm like 9 years old, and I'm eating this. It's like, that's not right. You tricked me. So she had her laugh, but I had a tough time
uh,
trusting her after that when she took us out.
I would try it. I would. I'm not going to try it raw, but I would try it.
You know what? Never say never. I mean, I never thought I'd be eating. I never thought I'd be doing carnivore. So I can't say never because you never know what's going to happen in your life. That okay, I think maybe I should try that.
Yeah. I'm actually glad though that a lot of the community space that we're in realized very early on that Liver King was taking the piss out of everybody, and I mean most of us did not get sucked into his bravado, and I'm so thankful for that because when it he totally lost his mind, and I think that was probably a lot to do with the drugs he was on.
Probably, yeah. Yeah,
And
I'm
I'm so
sure he was
thankful that
juicing. You can't. I don't know nowadays how you can get like that without juicing. Really.
no. So, and something that I would say is that carnivore eating can help you to build lean mass very readily, but it's not going to make you look like a walking wall of meat.
No, no. I mean, you got to put in the work. I mean, you got to if you want to look like that. I mean, you got to do what Linda Hamilton did. If you remember from the Terminator and Linda Hamilton, she got into that shape. I mean, she was going in the gym, 3 or 4 hours a day, 6 days a week. I think that the
Mm,
carnivore diet really helps in keeping your lean mass because you absorb the animal protein a lot better. It's easier to absorb it, so it's easier. So if you're working out and you're in the carnivore diet, you're going to see results even faster just because of you're absorbing more of that like high quality protein.
mm, mhm. Yeah, but the Liver King levels is just ridiculous.
No, that's insane. I mean that's crazy. Maybe that's
Yeah,
1%. Yeah, the people. The rest of us are not that insane.
no, 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 no. Now, when he brought out raw testicles to be chewing on, I'm like, no, dude is taking the piss out of everybody. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, that sounds like he could do it. Go ahead. You can do all you want. People do the craziest things online. They eat do the crazy stuff.
Yeah. Well, let's look at the reverse though. What do you think of this one over here? We got this one over there. See? There. Fasting helps me a lot. What do you think? Do you do fasting at all?
Yeah, you know what? I used to do it more often, but fasting is really good actually. In fact, when I was transitioning, I would and I as I explained to you that when I started eating more animal fat like butter and things, my liver and my gallbladder started hurting a little bit. So I would fast. I usually would fast for about 24 hours. And then the fasting is not just water. I used to do it with a little bit of apple cider vinegar, just like
Mhm.
just a cup, some mostly water. I would be drinking about, I don't know, about a couple liters of water a day, and then a little bit of uh, apple cider vinegar with some salt in a warm
Mhm.
cup, and just to get my gallbladder, my liver functioning better, because the apple cider vinegar is good for that. Uh, so I did. I think it's very good. It's very healthy to fast. You should, I mean, if somebody is diabetic or has some major issues, they should definitely talk to their doctor first, or to talk to others about that. But a 24-hour fast, it would be safe for anybody. I mean, anybody could do a 24-hour fast. Just make sure you stay hydrated. And I did it, and I did it, and it felt really good. It's something that I did. Just my intuition was telling me, okay, you're going through this transition. Stop eating for a day, and
Mhm.
I think it's very beneficial, and that's been pretty well documented as far as uh, how your body starts to eat up it starts to eat up all the dead cells, cancer, and toxins, and that your body doesn't need anymore. So
Mhm.
it's a good practice to do it. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Do you have any other uh, social media outlets or something that you'd like to plug?
Right now it's my Instagram account. It's a coach uh, uh, Jacob Hans, Coach Jacob Hans. And no, Jacob Hunt's coach. I'm kind of a little confused, but it's that one. And that's it. And my Dad Bought to Fitness. I have a website called Dad Bought to Fitness, in which I talk about my online coaching program. And those would be the one.
All right, and those will also be linked in the description box later on.
Okay, great.
So I'm going to open up the side chat for direct questions. Anybody got a question for Dr. Jacob just now? We have a few friends following along. Maybe somebody's got a thought. Hang on a sec. Think of all that extra testosterone you took when you were 9, eating those testicles. You probably developed chest hair on the spot.
Probably did. And I thought that should be taken care of it, by now. But yeah, that's pretty funny.
Oh my God, that's good.
There are better ways.
But there may be some argument for that. You might pick up some free testosterone for that. I just don't know that that's any good from a bull.
There are supplements. There are glandulars. There are supplements of all kinds of glands, testicle glands, freeze dried, and thyroid, pancreas. And as a nutritionist, I was using a lot of those in my early days when people that had diabetes or thyroid issues or things like that. When you feed the raw glandular tissue, it seems to help, with whatever condition it is. So yeah, there are some supplements with raw testosterone tissue. Actually, there are some companies that do market that.
Kind of like a woman who's just given birth, eating the placenta to try to build up her body after.
Actually, when my wife gave birth, we took the placenta and pulverized it, and we put it in capsules, and she ate it, and it was just amazing. It's really, most people will not do it because it's just it's kind of fringe, but we were again. We were more into the open, holistic type of approach, to healing and doing this. And that's what we did with the last child, with our son. And we pulverized it, put in capsules, and she ate it, after she gave birth. And, she felt great after, compared to her previous pregnancies. So there is something to it. Yeah.
I need to look into that more.
No, nature's pretty amazing. Unfortunately, we've just been brainwashed by the pharmaceutical companies to try their stuff first. Okay. And we've been so much to the quick fix that some of these natural things that take a little bit longer, but are very good for us. Some people don't do it just because we're in such a rush with our lives. And we've been taught that everything has to be, instant. But health is something really that it takes time to work for, and it's there. It's absolutely possible if you are moving your body, if you work out, if you eat well, if you're getting good night's sleep. That's going to be very important to help you. If you do those 3 things, that changes your mindset, and with a healthier mindset that, hey, I can do this. I can, live a healthy life now. I don't have to be waiting around to being sick with all these conditions. And that's what a lot of carnivore community realized. They're waking up. They woke up and said, hey, look, I'm doing this and I'm throwing out, 15 medications. They told me that I had to be on the rest of my life, and now 0. Okay. So I know that the body can heal itself. And as a chiropractor, I saw it all the time. I've had people with severe spinal injuries that were going to be having surgeries. I was able to help them avoid the surgeries, or people who were on medications. After a while, I helped them with chiropractic. They got off medications. So in many cases, this is the story. We just need to give the body time. and not rush it.
Mm-mm. No, another one of the problems with that is, especially with the big pharmaceutical giants pushing everybody around, the reality is that in places like America, you couldn't even lay claim to the idea that diet could harm you or that it could actually heal the condition by law. So that's sketchy territory anyway.
It's always been very sketchy, and the pharmaceuticals have the billions and billions to fund, the doctors. And I mean, look at all the television shows. Everything's about, the medical doctors. All these shows are General Hospital. It's all about the medical profession. And so we kind of idolize them in a way through the media. And again, I truly believe with my experience that most of these things can be done naturally. Most of these health conditions you can reverse: type 2 diabetes, obesity, all kinds of arthritis and joint pains. All of these conditions can be reversed naturally. And only, hey, if you're in an accident, you break a bone that's sticking out of your arm, go to the ER, get it taken care of. If you have a severe lung infection, take antibiotics for 10 days. But at the same time, take your vitamins, eat well, keep moving. It's not one extreme or the other. It's important to learn how to use both of these methods in balance. And if it's some kind of acute condition, hey, go check it out. Get an X-ray, get an MRI scan to find out what's going on, just to rule out any kind of physical thing really being wrong, because you want to take care of it. And once you find out it's good, hey, keep doing all the natural stuff. Get your blood work, every 3 to 6 months, just to check, see how things are doing. It's okay to do that. But I just focus: food, exercise, get a good night's sleep, sleep well, get hydrated, make sure that you're drinking enough water, stay hydrated, and good health and longevity could be yours. The reality, it just takes work. It doesn't come in a pill. I did work with a lot of vitamins and supplements that are really good, but not enough. You got to move your body. You got to get good sleep, and stay hydrated and eat healthy, and also have a good mindset. Try, especially in this world, to have a positive mindset. Hang around the people that uplift you. Hang around the friends and family that uplift you, make you feel good, and support you, to help you stay healthier and sane.
Very good point. And you were talking about how sometimes you're around things that are marketed and sent out. So I got a question for you on this one. How would freeze-dried full balls be marketed?
That's pretty funny. I don't think they put it exactly that way on the packaging. Okay, freeze-dried balls. Increase your testosterone. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
they're probably not going to put that on
that's gonna
the.
stay for a long time. I can tell.
That would be on the back of the box somewhere. It'd be like derived from bull testicles. You're not going to see that on the front of the box.
Read the small writing. It's a small writing, right? That's where it says.
We do have a few more questions. Dee asks about how many eggs to eat today. She says benefit of eating 4 or 5 a day,
Great.
and she meant
I'm
eggs.
eating. Listen, I'm eating 6 days, six eggs a day, and I've been doing that for years. And even before I was carnivore, I was still eating a lot of eggs a day. Uh, as far as the cholesterol issue, it's not an issue. About 85% of the cholesterol that your body makes, that you have in your blood, is made by your liver. The other 15% you absorb from your food. And as far as eggs are concerned, they have a good kind of cholesterol, but the yolk has something called lecithin. It's a type of fat that helps to take that cholesterol and help it absorb and go to the right places. So the egg is a perfect food. So if you're eating, 3 to 4 eggs a day, great. It's a great source of protein. You need your cholesterol. Your brain it's mostly cholesterol. Your nerves, the protective layer around your spinal cord and your nerves are made from cholesterol, not from sugar.
Mm.
Cholesterol. Your brain is mostly fat and cholesterol. Your brain actually, besides the liver, is the only other part that actually makes its own cholesterol supply in case of emergency. So your body will make the cholesterol that it needs. So those eggs, 3 or 4 or 5 eggs a day, are just fine.
Mm-hmm. Here's one. That question. I need to lose another 80 pounds. I've been stalled for close to 2 years. I'm lucky to get 1,500 calories per day. Tried all the tricks. Seems with carnivore, work out daily. Thoughts?
It's all very, it really depends on each person's history and physiology. When somebody says they've tried everything, I know that could be frustrating, but there has to be something that they haven't tried yet, because there are thousands and thousands of people that are losing the weight. So it's something, if you're interested, if you're having an issue, you can just contact me and we can, have a Zoom call, and I can see why, if you're doing all the right things. It has to be something that has to be tweaked, something that you may not be aware of, or you think it's right, but that it may not be right.
Mm-hmm.
So working out, eating well, even as a carnivore, even if you're not losing the weight and you're doing all these things, there could be something else that's hidden that you're not seeing. So, like I said before, it's very individualized. When you want to lose the weight, you can't do just one diet for all fits all. This is where you got to talk to somebody to really determine what is the best thing for you in your situation.
Yeah, that is a perfect and proper answer in reality. I have a friend, Craig Emmerich, and he would say he would say exactly the same thing. You're going to have to tweak things. You're going to have to figure out what it is that's stalling you out. Oftentimes, he and his wife Maria, they find that people are consuming too much fat, and honestly, you have a personal fat threshold from their research. Now, I don't know, and I don't want other carnivores raining it down on me. The reality is, I don't know, but that's what they say. And they've seen a lot of success with people doing protein sparing uh, fasting. So, what that means is have a day where you eat very lean, but eat just the red meat,
I
very
see.
lean. Yeah. And do that for a day, 2 days, and then your stall may break, and it may be that you're just overdoing it with a particular thing, like too much fat or on that nature.
Exactly. I mean, that sounds reasonable, and that may work for a lot of people. It may not be the answer for somebody else, but again, our physiologies, our bodies are so unique. This is why it's good talking to people. If you're frustrated, and if you feel like you've stalled, it's just good to talk to somebody who's got more, who's got knowledge about this, who's been through it already. Oh,
Sorry,
this is not gonna end, is it?
I picked the wrong moment. I picked the wrong moment to put it up there because you were still really digging on that, and I'm like,
You know, I gotta tell her, my cousin passed away some years ago, but she's probably laughing her head off. She's head off right now. You know that after all of these years, this is how it came to be.
I'm sorry to make light of your pain of that situation.
No, it's great. Laughing is good. Whatever. Hey, if you're laughing, that's the whole thing. That's what keeps you
Oh my
healthy
God.
and young.
I need that.
But you know what? Somebody asked me, well, how do they promote it? It's called orchic tissue. Orchic. That's the scientific for orchic tissue. That's for that's testicle. Another name for testicle is called orchic.
Oh my God. That doesn't sound right.
Yeah. Well, that's what it is.
I totally believe you. and that is okay. You don't even need to control yourself. This is Bold Carnivore Channel. You go right ahead. It sounds like a flower. It does, like orchid, right? And
Absolutely, yeah. Well, they got to
yeah,
make it sound nice, You
yeah.
can't say, "Here's some balls. Go ahead and have some." You can't eat it. Marketing is everything, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely. We got all these testicles in the back. I don't know what to do with them. We'll call them something flowery, and people will.
That's it. You got to market it right, and if you market it right, you're in.
Yeah, oh my god. Wow. Okay, tell me something that's unusual, something strange, like the balls thing. That I mean, like something maybe more recent, just off the cuff, like odd that you wouldn't have expected to have happen in your journey.
Joe, you mean in the carnivore journey? Some
Yeah, something unexpected. Like, wow, that was out of left field.
something like that. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. Something. But you know what? I gotta tell you, it's like I thought I have a pretty good willpower. You know how to do things and sticking to this diet. But I remember, oh man, I really messed up one time, and I have these bars, these special bars that I make that are all full of that have seeds and ground almond flour and chocolate chips and everything, and I just have to have it. So I did. It's like, and I binged on it, and I did not expect that because I usually am pretty good with controlling my diet and things. And I just ate almost like the whole batch, and I felt so sick the next day. And I going, oh man, I can't believe I said I just blew it. All of these months in carnivore, my anxiety is going to come back and everything. But luckily, I just felt really bad the next day, and I said, okay, that was like a little over a year ago, and that was the last time that happened.
Mm,
But that's about the craziest thing I can tell you. Besides
mm,
me having to go to the butcher all the time, I never imagined in my life I'd be going to the butcher asking for meat, every single week. Okay,
mm,
so. And that for me was strange. I just never thought I would be doing it. That's why I say never. You never know what you'll be doing.
mm. But you didn't come from like a vegan space, right? So like,
No, I said my wife is vegan, and but I no, I was a vegetarian. I just ate fish, chicken. I never ate red meat. Yeah.
mm. Secondary question. This is terrible to me, but what about people eating brains, good or bad? I've had cow brains. I eat chicken brains. I eat fish brains. I don't see anything wrong with it personally.
Well,
What
I
do you think?
remember that movie in Indiana Jones where they were when in the second Indiana Jones where they're eating monkeys' brains. Well, it's got a lot of good cholesterol and it's got good nerves. And hey, just like the frozen, the freeze dried bull balls and testicles, hey, maybe it'll make you smarter, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You can eat the entire animal, even the brains, and eat
Mm,
cows' tongues. You can eat the liver. You can eat everything. Ears,
all right.
pigs' ears, pigs' feet. So cows, brains. Unless you don't have an issue with it, I probably would just because it's brains, But
Well, I've tried it. I
otherwise,
think it's fine. Mm.
yeah, it
The
really
tongue, though, that you mentioned the tongue. I've tried tongue, and the texture just really throws me off. I can't.
I could not do that. Here, our butcher in Portugal, I always see the beef tongue right there next to the meat that I like, and I'm always looking at, uh, no, no way, no, no way. That's just one thing. No.
Mm. Oh, I did. I tried it once, the once that I can remember. Maybe
Yes.
twice, but I. Oh,
Does it taste like Does it
oof.
taste like chicken?
No.
No.
No, it does not taste like chicken. Anybody who told you it tastes like chicken is on something. I'm telling you what, man.
No. Well, everything tastes
It
like
doesn't.
chicken.
Everything's no. This does not taste like chicken. But the reality is, when tongue is cooked up, it has this weird texture. It doesn't have a beef like texture. It
Oh,
has a
really?
indescribable. It's like broken eraser bits.
Oh, it's like rubbery. It's like a rubbery.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't think I
It's
could do it.
my opinion. My opinion. Ooh,
I don't think I could do it.
I'm not doing it. Not again. No.
But
Somebody tells me that's fun, I'll be like,
if I had to, I would.
yeah, sure,
I had to,
sure.
but by choice, no.
No. Here's another thought. I would fear mad cow at this time. We ate it when I was younger after butchering them on the farm. You mean if you were eating the brains? Is that what you meant? I don't know that I'd be concerned about mad cow just from eating the brains per se. I mean, farmed cows like factory farm, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you're considering that, it's got to be a farmer that you know that is growing the beef right in order to do that.
Mm.
Otherwise, I wouldn't risk just getting it from anywhere.
Now, Dee Dee says, can't get past the mental image of eating some body parts. It's like
I
dong. I'm
agree
not going to eat
100%.
dong.
I agree with you. I can't either. For me,
You
liver,
tell me
I'm
it's
okay
freeze.
with liver. Liver is I can handle it, okay? But other body parts, no. Even pigs. Here in Portugal, you see pigs just being displayed just like that, and no, I just couldn't do it.
Mm. Hang on, follow up. Okay. Yes, mad cow is in the spine, and neural. I was talking about eating the brains. Yeah. Um, just like you said, I think if it's a local shop or a local farmer, the cow, the cow's
Yeah,
handling, I wouldn't worry about it. But if they're feeding cow to cow,
yeah. Again, I would just do it if you knew if you know the source of if you know the source personally. Then otherwise, it's not worth taking the risk.
mm, yeah, go random cow and say, "Let me eat your brains."
You could also take them in supplements, freeze dried brain. I'm pretty sure they have that.
Do they have the same marketing problem as freeze dried testicles?
No, actually, you know what? A lot of bodybuilders were taking that stuff. At least, back then when I was consulting them back in the 80s and 90s,
Uh,
these they're called raw glandulars. And these are the
mm-mm.
different kind of glands. Instead of using steroids, they would be using this. They would be using all kinds of glandulars. And this is one of them, freeze dried, uh, testicles. That's what they were using it. Yeah, it was very common back then.
Can't say that it's not a good idea. I don't personally know. I'd have to look into it more, but I take your word for it, and I can see how it could filter up. There may be some biomagnification involved in that. I really don't know. Okay. On the subject of pig, I love bacon. Thoughts, Dr. Hens? What do you think
Okay.
about bacon?
So as long as if you can get it as natural as possible, because a lot of these manufacturers add tons of sugar and all this other crap in it. Just make sure you read the ingredients, and that's all it is basically, because they put some sulfites and all kinds of preservatives. So if you can get a natural source of bacon, great. Add some scrambled eggs with it. Okay, have it with scrambled eggs, and that's great. I think it's just fine.
Another comment. I remember lifting the lid of my pot and seeing the pig head there staring at me when making head cheese. It was a bit daunting. What is head cheese? I don't know what that is. What is it?
I have no idea what that is. That's the first time I hear about it.
Yeah. You're going to have to explain that one a little bit there. I don't know what head cheese is.
Yeah, I have no idea. But if I lifted a lid and the pig's face is looking at me, I'd probably put the lid right back down and walk the other way.
How's that getting in there?
I don't want that image while I go to sleep. That would keep me up at night. No,
I can't even.
I don't want to see that.
I don't know. Wait. I gotta post that one up there. it's like a gelled lunch meat. You use everything in that head. You use everything in that head.
You know what? And that I think I know what you're talking about, because to make a fish broth, I use fish heads. I use a lot of the when I get my fish and we fillet it, we keep the heads and the spines, and then we make soup with that. And that
Mm,
is like a super vitamin drink. It's good for your bones. It's good for your skin, and it's great. So
mm,
I guess in different places in the world they could use pig. They can use it. They can do the same thing. Obviously, they make broth out of meat and meat
mm.
parts and beef broth. I guess pig broth in certain parts of the country. Uh, is common. I just haven't heard of it.
Here they use chicken feet.
Oh, that's
Here in
right.
Indonesia. Mm,
Okay, chicken feet, chicken parts. Yeah,
mm,
yeah. You get all the cartilage and all the minerals and that come out of that, and it's a great source of calcium, magnesium, electrolytes, protein. All that. So these broths don't need to take a long time. For a long time, when I was going to carnivore, I kind of uh, didn't do it just because I thought I was going to be very time consuming. I kind of ignored this whole making broth soup. But once I did it, it's so fast. I'm so glad that I did. It takes, to prepare, it takes maybe about 15 minutes. You put the fish and whatever you put in there, and then you simmer it for about 3 hours, and that's it.
mm. We use a pressure cooker for ours, but it works the same.
Oh, yeah, you don't even need a pressure cooker. I would just in low heat for 3 hours, and it gets all the good stuff out of the bones, and it makes a great soup.
Mm. Yum, 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 yum. Now I'm thinking of chicken foot soup.
You
Ah.
can even put some onions and carrots and things like that just to season it, and then just keep the broth.
Mm.
That's what I do. Just gives it a nicer flavor.
It's an interesting idea, using root plants and stuff as a seasoning instead of actually eating them. I don't know that I've considered that.
Yeah, but don't eat them. It's just a very nice, and also because my wife also likes it, so we do stuff together that she also can. She can also uh, drink the broth because she loves it. So, and she eats the vegetables, so that's why we do it that way.
Nice. Wow, wow, wow. You see her moving towards carnivorism maybe a little bit more each year, or is it just maybe her progression is a lot slower than yours?
I don't think she's going to eat meat. She's been eating a lot more. She didn't used to eat a lot of fish or eggs. And so she's eating a lot more now, which I'm very happy about. So she's eating more fish, eggs, shrimp. She never wanted to eat shrimp, but the shrimp that I make her, she says are the best. So and I'm so happy that she started eating those. But and she's eating butter, so very very gradually. I don't think she'll eat meat like animal, like red meat, but other stuff she is.
Hmm,
Yeah, which is
awesome.
okay. It's a. I'm glad because if she's feeling on it, she's feeling well on it. That's the bottom line. If she feels well, then great, continue.
Hmm. So you haven't had any other situations within your family, like your wife or your kids, that they've had like a health issue like you had?
No, because they're pretty healthy. I mean, because I adjust them as a chiropractor and nutritionist. I make sure that we're all pretty healthy. Uh, so as far as my wife, once in a while she does some cleanses, and she fasts. Uh, but she's actually pretty healthy, and my son too. Um, during this whole COVID thing, never got it, never got vaccinated, never got it. We basically just we boosted our immune system naturally with food, mostly exercise and chiropractic, and we all got through it just fine. That's what I can say, because really is a made sure our vitamin D levels are up, and that's really crucial, especially now that the weather is changing. Make sure that you're getting like at least 5,000 international units vitamin D every single day with vitamin K. Don't rely on the sun. The sun is not enough. Okay, so supplement. That's one supplement I would recommend everybody to take. That vitamin D in international units, 5,000, with the vitamin K to help absorb it and to make sure the calcium goes to where it's supposed to go. So that's we've basically done much. Stayed healthy with just a lot of the nutrition and our healthy
Mm.
lifestyle, I have to
So when you
say.
say vitamin K, when you say vitamin K, do you mean vitamin K1 or vitamin K2?
Two, vitamin K2. And now they're K7, but most supplements now that have vitamin D, they have the vitamin K2 and 7. So either one's fine.
Mm. Okay, cool. Wait. Let's see. What do you think some people are afraid of carnivore? What do you think some people are afraid of carnivore diet? Seems there may be a typo in there somewhere. Right.
Yeah.
Not quite clear.
Yeah. And that's a really good question. And I can answer it just from personal experience. I was afraid of eating red meat because of all the
Oh, why?
brainwashing. Yeah, I was
Okay.
in myself. I was brainwashed even as a nutritionist to believe that eating red meat gives you cancer and it causes heart attacks and all of this stuff, which is absolutely
Mhm,
not true at all. After I was forced to start eating it, really, I say forced because that's either that or meds. So
mhm,
I chose the natural way. So that's why a lot of people now, as far as the carnivore diet, why? Because I think for people who are not used to eating animal products, that would seem extreme, especially if they're eating on the regular, standard American diet with 70% of everything is carbohydrates, carbs, rice, potatoes, and all of that. Um, and I just think it's the stigma of the meat and the brainwashing. You eat the animal fat's going to increase your cholesterol, it's going to increase your triglycerides, it's going to give you heart attacks. And after being brainwashed for decades, no wonder people are scared to do it. No wonder.
mm.
Okay, that's it. And me too. I mean, that's why when I heard about it, I did my research and okay, I can do this for 3 months. Nothing can hurt you if you do for 3 months. If you do a diet for 3 months and check your blood and see, okay, but if you start feeling better, great. And if you don't, okay, sometimes it may take a little longer, but I think that's the main reason why people don't go for the carnivore diet either. And there's a lot of influencers that, uh, animal-based, plant-based diet is good for longevity and all of that. Yeah, it could be in some cases. I don't doubt that at all. That in some cultures, eating more plants, it's better. But it could also be to each person's physiology. And again, I think it's very personalized. Some people who you see it in the carnivore space all the time. Some people who are vegans or vegetarians, after being 20, 30 years like that, they got sick and tired of being sick and tired. And because of that, they started with a ketogenic and then went to the carnivore. And wow, all of a sudden they got better.
That's true. We have that story over and over and over and
Yeah, I
over and
read it
over.
all the time.
Mm. So you said you heard about the carnivore diet and then you started doing your research. What was your primary entry into the carnivore diet? Who led you down this
Ken
path and
Berry,
journey?
Dr. Ken Berry. He's a
I
guy.
thought so.
Yeah. Yeah. And I started with him and then the other guy was Carrie from the Homestead. Have you heard Carrie from who's starting that documentary? He was his story just blew me away. Uh, and then Dr. Chafee, obviously, I mean, these guys are really smart people, okay? And they've been doing their research, and then I started listening to the reasoning, and then again, Kerry from Homestead was amazing. I think I listened to him more than anybody, but also with Dr. Ken Berry, who
Mm.
really explains things really well. And I felt so much more comfortable doing it after I heard his, his YouTube channel and what he was explaining. But those are the main two people, and also Dr. Chafee too. He also he's got so much common sense. I know he's more in the extreme. It's good to have that as well, absolutely, so we can do that, so we can see where he's coming from. He also helped me, understand why plants may not be so great as I thought they were for me. Okay, and I've not eaten a plant in 2.5 years, and I'm pooping twice a day. Okay, it made no difference. No bloating at all. No stomach issues. Hardly any gas. I mean, really, I I I had to try it for myself, and I was scared not to do the plants just because of the fiber issue. You always have to have the fiber, and so I said, okay, my philosophy, I'm going to try this for 3 months and see what happens. And fine, my digestive system calmed down even more. So it worked.
Yeah. Yeah, Chafee's a great guy. He's one of my friends too. We've had a couple of videos together. We still talk on Instagram.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
uh,
he's
yeah, he's
great. He
fantastic.
explains this so well.
Yeah. Plants are trying to kill you. Okay.
Exactly. But you know what? It makes sense. I even before he even said, after he said that, I just go, oh my God, he's got a point. The plants can't run away. They got to protect themselves, right? So how do they do it? It makes sense.
It really does. Here's a question. Can y'all explain what makes brain fog clear up on carnivore, and what is the high I get from fasting for a day or two and then eating a good meal of proteins? Good
Oh,
question.
great. That's a really great question. Okay. So, uh, a lot of our health issues have to do with how well our body tolerates insulin. Some of us are insulin resistant. That means that when we're so used to eating so many carbs and stressing out our pancreas, that's where the insulin gets secreted into the body. That the even when the insulin is released, it's not, our body's not responding and not allowing the glucose and the blood sugar to enter the cells. So when you are too resistant, you eat a lot of carbs and not enough insulin is secreted in the blood. Guess what happens in the brain? You got too much sugar in the brain. And when you get too much sugar in the brain, all the neurons that talk to each other, they get sticky. Okay, they get sticky like gum, and they start losing a connection, and then you that contributes to the foggy feeling. And also when you have so much extra blood sugar in your brain, that decreases oxygen, and we need oxygen in our brain. And if the oxygen saturation, how much oxygen concentration you have in your brain drops, then that's what an anxiety attack is. The oxygen level drops, so your body goes into anxiety. It's like, I'm going to die. You feel like you're dying. But the brain fog occurs because there's not enough oxygen there. And why you feel so energized after a fast? Well, when you're digesting, the digestion takes a lot of blood, it needs a lot of oxygen and a lot of energy from your body to digest the food. So when you give your body a break and when you fast, all of a sudden, you have this extra energy to go other places other than digesting your food. It goes to uh, 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 work on cancer. We all of us have cancer cells, but we don't get cancer because we have a good immune system. But it's a process of getting rid of the old cells that are dying that we don't need anymore. And when you fast, the body has the ability to use those for energy. It cannibalizes the bad stuff and uses it for calories, essentially. So when you do that, you have more oxygen available to your body, and that's why you feel really good. Maybe at the beginning, maybe uncomfortable when you're fasting, just because you're switching the fuel that you're using instead of the glucose. You're switching more towards using fat from the ketones. But yeah, you have this high after you, or at a certain stage of fasting, because of all the oxygen and energy that's available to your body now.
Hmm. And then when you reintroduce a good, healthy protein, your body uptakes it very quickly and is able to utilize it.
That's it. Exactly. You just said it just right. It's just open and ready, and it's cleaned house, basically. It's just cleaned house, and okay, bring some more in. Let's take in that protein.
There you go.
Great, good. I'm glad. These are all really good. These are really good questions.
They are. This community is fantastic.
Yeah,
Hmm.
awesome.
So Sean White, yeah, he I believe was working closely with Bella, Steak and Butter Gal, but I think that he has left the. I don't think he's left Carnivore, but I am pretty sure that he's stepped back from the daily running of the social media stuff. But
Uh-huh.
I think that he's probably still part of their community. Like I don't know that he's still coaching, but he might be. I'd have to look into that. I haven't talked with Sean in quite some time.
Okay, I've not Sean White. I know the steak and butter gal. She's great. Sean White. I've not heard of him.
Mm, you know, yeah, he worked with her pretty closely for a while there,
Oh,
and
okay.
I think they're still working together. I don't know. I hadn't heard anything that had changed, but oh yeah, but, Steak and Butter Gal, she's fantastic. She's eating sticks of butter and
Wow.
raw ribeye.
No, no, she inspired me. When I was having issues with butter, just because I had to slow down the fat initially. My body wasn't used to it. Um, she inspired me to feel confident about that. So, and everything helps. Every influencer says something that you needed to hear that maybe the other person didn't say it at the right time. So it's great that we have all these people out there and kind of guiding us, in this new way of eating.
So one of the people that inspired me first to try the carnivore diet is Dante. If you don't know Dante, I've got a video with him out too, and I was watching his
Yes,
transformation through the lion
I have,
diet.
I think I know who it is. Yeah, I think I've heard his story. He was like he was in a bad situation, right?
Yeah, he had a herniation that was messed up and all kinds of other stuff, and he went to the carnivore diet and he started putting his life back together. I was like, you can eat just meat and still be okay. That was amazing. Yeah.
No, it's just amazing. If we do the right things, if we listen to our intuition, if we work with the natural uh, things that are available that God gave us, let's start there. And usually, when you approach it that way, you find solutions.
Yeah, that is the case. We definitely need each other. And yes.
Absolutely. You know what? I am so grateful for the carnivore community. And again, coming from a background of nutrition and chiropractic and all this holistic stuff, I don't know it all. I mean, and I was very humbled by the community and what I was seeing and what people were doing. And I was just amazed, and really helped me on my journey to stick to it. Because I don't think if I would have had that support, I think I would have been too nervous and too scared to do it. And I'm so glad I did, because of the health benefits now that I have.
Oh, everyone's on their particular journey, and I am very grateful to be a part of it in so many ways.
Yeah, absolutely. This has been very eye-opening.
Well, Dr. Jacob, I always ask somebody who's on to give a little nugget, a little pearl in closing. And after we do close, I'd like you to hang around with me for a little bit after. But would you just give some final closing thoughts?
Yeah. Uh, we are all just a unique person, not just physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And our journey is our journey. So it's good that we have others who've been through it and who are going through it. Uh, but try not to compare yourself too much to others, because again, that takes your uniqueness away. And I think that's the most important thing. Just listen to your intuition. Just realize this is your journey, not anybody else's. So go at your pace and at your time.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jacob. It has been an absolute pleasure to have you on, and I'm glad that the community showed up for it.
Oh, I'm glad too. It's been awesome being on your show. Thank you so much for having me.
You're very, very welcome, sir. Okay, we're going to close it out here. I'm just going to say, be bold, everybody, and see you next time.